Excellent. So can everyone hear me all right? Um, Sorry, my voice is a little bit gone at the moment. So welcome to the third webinar. So we've been doing a bit of theory and kind of tactical kind of spying and different things like that up to now. Now we're actually going to give you some resources we use within the agency and actually start building out some of these ads so you can kind of see that. It can be complicated, so please feel free to shout if you need me to kind of go through anything, because we'll be doing Facebook ads, which is Meta. So that's Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, and WhatsApp. And I've been doing this for years, so if I kind of accidentally go over something too quickly, please feel free to raise your hand. We do go into it way, way, way more in depth in the Roku Academy, which is our course launching on the 1st of September. There is a link in the chat to both the sign up. So if you want to get early bird access and the best price, you can sign up to that little MailerLite email address, and we'll let you know when it's launched, and you'll get some extra goodies and some time with the team. And there's also a link to make a copy of this document, which you can hopefully see on the screen. You can see this ecosystem document, yeah? So previously we were talking about various things like the picnic plan and our kind of PAYCO kind of framework. So what we've done from that and what we use in the agency as part of our Nomad plan is a thing called ecosystem. So it's basically just a set of questions that allow us to really deep dive under the hood of a business and really understand what else is going on. The reason we do that is because usually people come to us and they're like, we need Facebook ads, email marketing, SEO, but we're actually not privy to what else is going on in the business. And that means that we're not able to do our job as well. And then we're also not able to get the best results possible because we just don't know everything that's going on. So we started building the kind of marketing planning, external CMO side of things into Nomad. Our team are trained by Mark Ritson in a mini MBA, so we're able to take a holistic airplane view of the business, find out what opportunities are maybe not being used to their full advantage, and then we're able to ultimately get more return for our clients. Our clients are happier, they don't go anywhere. That's basically it. So this is a framework we put together that basically distills that experience and also the knowledge we have, and allows us to ask some pertinent questions that allow us to find out more about the business. So ecosystem, I love an acronym, as we know at this stage. ECO stands for environment, creative, and offer. So these are the three most important things in our opinion, for a brand to really go through and find out what exactly is going on in their business and how they can then take that information and either change their approach, refine their approach, or approach things better. So this document is available. You can see this document, can you? Sorry, I've got 3 screens here, so I'm just making sure everyone can see this ecosystem document. Yeah. No?
Yep, can see it.
Yeah, you can see it, great. So you can, this is in the chat. Let me know again if there's any problems. You can make a copy and go through this for your own, with your own team, and kind of find out what's going on. So environment is basically everything that we think, like from a macro point of view, affects your sales, leads, or bookings in a business. So it's audience, it's the first one. So this is just getting a kind of an overview of the demographics and why they're picking your business over other ones. You can go as in-depth to this as you want. Some of these questions are not relevant to some people because they know things completely kind of intrinsically. Others you might not be able to answer, and you might actually need to go to your market, go to your existing customers, and ask them why do they love your product and why did they pick that over a competitor. It's really important. And a lot of companies, and mine included, until recently, didn't do that. And it allows you to get real market information about how you can make your customer experience better. So then we look at competitors. We've already briefly touched on that with the ad spine video, ethical ad spine. How are you different? Are you different? And do you need to be different? Or is there enough kind of, enough pieces of that pie for everyone else? And they're just some other coaching questions that kind of help you kind of think about your competitors and making sure that you're not just creating a better mousetrap. You're actually creating or positioning your brand as something that brings pleasure to your customers or makes pain go away. And then the market as a whole, and this is again kind of something that I've learned from personal experience trying to launch brands into markets that don't exist or are shrinking, or there was real world information about how that market has been affected. So it's again just another kind of trigger point for us to look at giving our clients the best chance of success. I'm going to go through this quite quickly because you're all able to make a copy of it. So I don't want to waste anyone's time when they could spend some time really digesting these questions. And then we look at collaborators. This is this is probably the one area we look at first, probably after offer, in terms of getting the most return on investment. Strategic partnerships with other brands definitely needs to come into environment, because brands can completely leverage other people's success if they're able to negotiate those deals or find those deals in the first place. But again, some questions just to allow you to kind of jump in. The SWOT analysis, and then we're into creative. So we actually expanded on this as a team. We've been debating this for the past couple of weeks. Creative in the agency world, generally regarded as your media that you're using in ads. So we look at kind of like square imagery or like story format or things like that. But we're going to expand that out more. I think like creative should be taken a kind of a brand approach. So like looking at website, looking at the blogs you're creating, like that whole ecosystem of your brand kind of, and I think that you're creating to enhance that company should come under creative, in my opinion. Some people disagree with me, some people don't, but we're looking for multiple touch points for your brand to ultimately convince customers to purchase from you again and again. And then, so this creative, you can again expand on this further to using the picnic plan to all the different areas that you're getting your team to create. Offer. So again, offer is the most important thing. So an awful lot of times we hear brands saying, "Oh, my product is better, that's why it's going to win." And not necessarily definitely not the case. So offer doesn't necessarily need to be discount, but how are you kind of meeting that customer in their right buying environment and making sure that they're making them an offer they can't refuse really. And again, that doesn't need to be discount or price driven. That can be with additional value. We just had a call with a wine customer, and they're building an online course to basically help push people over the line. And so they're just like an introduction to rosé. They're giving away this digital course for free, which allows just another trigger point that people are then going to have some really cool facts about rosé they can share at their next dinner party, and it's going to build trust. It costs the company nothing to do, a couple of £100, and their team's time, and then ultimately they're going to have this really good digital asset that then they're able to bring into the kind of physical product world by selling the wine. So we've done this in fashion before with style guides. We've done this with food companies with matching guides. So there's all different ways that you can kind of think outside the box to make sure that you're really able to build a great customer experience. And then we kind of do this pre-mortem, why will it succeed or fail, which is a really, really good task, and just allows you to really hone in everything. And then the decision. So what we do is we sum all of that up, and then hopefully, if you've gone through this process, you'll have much better understanding of your environment, who your customers, your competitors are, what creative you're going to create, how you're going to create it, who's going to be responsible, and then what offer you're ultimately going to bring to market. So it just helps kind of bring all of that into a net. And then from there, you're able to use that to create your picnic plan. So we do this prior to creating the plan. So then on the next one, how are we prospecting? How are we building interest? How are we creating conversations, nurturing, incentivizing, and converting those conversations? We've spoken about this in the last webinar. Feel free to go and catch that on YouTube. And then this is just a little template. You can print this off to use with your team. But what we're going to do is just show you filled out examples. So we've done this as a team it took a long time. I'll be honest. It took, like, Katie's on this call, but Katie's been with us since January last year. I think we started it in May last year. We started like our own picnic plan, and it changed the whole company. Like we were a completely different brand. We're a gastronomic agency, so we realized doing this process inadvertently that the market wasn't the best market for what we wanted to achieve as a company. So it can lead to quite big change if you go into it with kind of really open eyes. So this is let's see if I can open this. So this is our filled out picnic plan, what we're doing in Roku. So Roku is a team of 5 now. It'll probably go to about 8 by the end of September. And just looking at our growth kind of trajectory. And then we have a team of kind of freelancers that we're able to tap into and bring in to help us with specific products. So this might seem a little bit overwhelming, but it's the division of labor. So for us, we use a lead generation tool called Bark, which works quite well. Meta Paid, which is Facebook, and we're actually going to build one of those campaigns out now so you can see it. And we use a pillar campaign strategy. And then organic socials, which Katie takes care of. So if you're following, feel free to follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. We're Roku Agency. And then I split these two out. So local SEO, which is powered by Google My Business. So there's a lot of bricks and mortar businesses on here. This is very important because if people are like boutique near me, hairdressers near me, restaurant near me, you want to be showing up first to be in that conversation. First or top 5, ideally. So that's Google Maps driven. So when you go onto Google, just the Google homepage, and type in any term, there's actually 3 search engines, at least 3 search engines interacting there. There's Google Ads at the top, there's the organic search underneath, and there's Google My Business on the right, depending on what term you're looking for. So interest, so we're doing giveaways. So yeah, win a free consultancy dinner. Free consultations, this is something that I'm passionate about. Even if, and it's happened quite a lot, like brands that are unqualified to work with us. And what I mean by that, we have our own internal criteria about how we look at a brand. And if they're unqualified to work with us, I'll still have an hour conversation with them to help them kind of come to a decision on how they can do marketing, and give them some resources, or just ultimately help them on their journey to be more successful. And that's, not a conversation, but what happens from there is they tell 2 or 3 or 4 other people, and then all of a sudden you've got an intro from a really qualified business. And free content as well, like this this ecosystem document will be on a campaign this weekend on Facebook that will be running in 6 countries around the world. And then moving forward, organic content. So Jess is creating, our copywriter is creating beautiful blogs online. You have to look at my sorry face on YouTube because we're doing a lot of YouTube content and things like that. And the assist calls as well, which are just assisting other brands. And then email newsletters, paid social. So there's a bit of repetition here, but there's different messaging in that repetition depending on what part of the awareness cycle they're in. And then interest. Yeah, paid socials again, and case studies. We have some video testimonials that we target people who are at that specific journey. And then conversion is people request for proposal, RFP, or just a general sales call. So all of our sales will happen with a sales call with what we do in the agency. Once the academy launches, that's essentially an e-commerce product. So that's basically the plan. So I've made a copy of this so you can kind of see it, and you can download it, print it, and use it in your own business. And it's just a framework. You don't religiously need to go through every piece, but I'm trying to build it as big as possible to bring in those questions. There might be more questions that are pertinent to your brand as well. That's absolutely fine. So with that in mind, we're going to start building some prospecting. Excuse me, my voice is quite gone. So I've been speaking about pillar campaigns. So we have a relatively new ad account now that we're going to update. So this is a Meta Business Manager. These are Facebook ads. So a lot of people will say to us, we're running Facebook ads, and they're actually not. They're running boosted posts or boosted Instagram posts on their channels. This is the back end of the business manager. If you have not seen this before, it's complicated. There's no two ways about it. We go through it in depth. We build it all out in the Roku Academy. So sign up for the link. It's going to be £150. You can kind of see how we do it. But ultimately, what we want to do now, just imagine none of these campaigns are there. We're starting from scratch. This is completely empty, and we have our new campaign. Well, we're going to start one. So what we want to do in the initial stages is do a awareness campaign, because nobody knows who we are online, and we want to create awareness. So for us as an agency, we target 6 countries around the world. So we are going to go in and we're going to create an awareness campaign. Now you can see on the right, this is good for reach, brand awareness, video views, and store location. So pretty much everyone on this call, this is what you should be going for. If you're an e-commerce brand, it'll be sales, but doing a direct sales campaign when you have no data is, and what I mean by data is a Facebook pixel installed on the site, which I should probably show you. So which is this thing here. It's a piece of code that basically picks up different information of what people do on your site. So unless you've got quite a lot of information, sales can be quite expensive, or you're a very established brand. Usually we'll go with awareness first. So we're going to pick awareness. And then we're going to go down here, and I'm going to name it, because we always name our campaigns. And then it's going to be video view. And then we're going to do, just going to leave it like that for the moment. So continue. And then, so this is the campaign is set up now. And now we need to set up our ad set. So the ad set's where we set our targeting. So I'm just going to pick one. So again, PH. And then we're going to go with small business owners. So if you're a fashion brand, you might pick a bigger fashion brand. Like, so say if you're a luxury, you might pick Louis Vuitton as your targeting, which I'm just naming it at the moment. We're going to go into targeting in a minute. So we leave all of this the same. Facebook page is fine. Daily budget, £5 a day. For this type of ad is absolutely fine. That's no problems at all, because ultimately Facebook wants to keep its viewers on Facebook. So if you just run a video view ad, you'll see in a second why we're going to do that, and keep people on Facebook. It's what Facebook want to happen. So they're going to reward you with more traffic. So we have no custom audiences, or might be like customer lists that you upload and things like that. This probably, if you're at the early stages, this won't be for you. You can target the countries around the world. Just going to put a couple in here. So United States, and you'll see this reach go up here. And then, yeah, we put in a couple more usually, but for this, so yeah, age, gender. So age, you want to keep it as wide as possible. So if you're not 100% sure, but yet what the exact demographic of your business is, keep it quite wide. And even then, like, we'd keep it quite wide. The reason is that gives Facebook more data to be able to put or more scope to be able to put the ad in front of more people. Then detailed targeting. So this is where you're able to go with your Louis Vuitton. Apologies for my spelling, it's absolutely atrocious. So yeah, so that's an employer, but that's not what we want. We want the interest. So 110 million people, which is a big enough audience. So for me, it's going to be small business owners. There is limits to what you can do. So it's 150,000. That's really small. Should be more than that. So I need to fill that out. And then how I do that is go with suggestions and small business owners. Yeah, so it's up to 5 million business owner, put that in as well. And then what I'm trying to do is to get this above 5 million, between 5 and 10 million, ideally. Owner and CEO would be a good one. So it's, as you can see, it's going up. You need to be careful with your targeting around, there's certain things you can't target. So you can't target for like any kind of traits like race, religion, sexual orientation, things like that. If you really did want to go around that, maybe you could target interests that cohort might be interested in, but there is ways around that, but you can't specifically do this here. You also can't, in the US, you're able actually to target by, which is crazy, by household income, which is kind of scary when you think about it. Yeah, in the UK with GDPR, you can't. So yes, this is targeting. Eventually what happens with this, as you're running ads, is your pixel gathers enough data that you just leave this empty because it knows who to target. And that way it's kind of got free reign. Placements. So this is not something you touch generally. It's basically where the ad is shown, but you want to leave Facebook with the most amount of traffic possible. Now into the actual ad. So I was recording an ad to use earlier on, but my system went down. So we have to use a little bit of a dummy video, but it's the same thing. So again, always with our naming. The reason for this is it'll default name to ad one or ad set one. What ends up happening is you find an ad or an ad set that's working really well and you're never able to find it again because the naming is wrong. So that's why you want to have sequential naming. Whatever works for you, it doesn't matter as long as there is some system that works. And then we go through here. So we're going to pick image, single image or video. And what we need to do is delete this because it's just picked one from some random page, our page. We're going to click add video. And then we should have one in the account that's just uploaded. So nope. Yeah, it's not. We try to upload our one. We'll just use this. So tend to follow all of this in terms of in terms of the recommendations from Facebook. For me, when this is going live, I don't want any destination here because what we're trying to do is get people to is to try to get people to watch the video. So I'm just making this up. Obviously, it would be better copy than this. So yeah, explorers. Actually, I probably don't want anything in there. I'm probably not going to let me publish that. But for the previous video, we had our YouTube video being updated. So I'm just going to go in with that copy, even though the video is incorrect. So yeah, so with this, I wouldn't add the destination because that destination will add a button that will bring them off your site. You don't want to do that. Tracking, it's got the data set, which is the pixel. And then I'm going to click publish, and that's it. I'm going to just leave that run, probably not touch it again for a month. I'm just going to let it get spend £3 to £5 a day. So just click publish. It might bring up some. So what will end up happening then is, so this is running, and it's cost per result to reach 1,000 people, to show the video to 1,000 people. Not the 1,000 people aren't going to watch the video, but if we go back to audiences here. So again, this might seem, actually going to leave that to the next video because we'll have some data to look at. This might seem quite overwhelming, and it is, because this is why agencies are paid to do all of this and then digest all that information and bring it back to our customers to go, this is working, let's do more than that. But essentially, that's how you would launch your video view ad on Facebook and Meta. So yeah, that's it from me. So if anyone has any questions on that, please feel free to shout.
What's the best dimensions for sorry, so it's best to do in a square, or will it resize it for the different?
Yeah, so what you can do is, if you're just running stories ad, is you can click manual placement here, and then what it will have is all the different things like this. So for feed, it's 916, or sorry, for feed it's square, always square. So one of our customers, their product doesn't crop very well automatically on Facebook. So what we'll do is we'll have one ad set that will just have Facebook feed. So they'll have a square version of their creative, and then we'll have one ad set that will have the story version of the creative. But yeah, it really kind of, when you're thinking about the media, like here, for example, that will probably crop okay. But for other things, not so much. So it is something you need to kind of bear in mind with creative.
Okay, thank you.
No worries. Any other questions? Excellent. So that's it from me. So if you want to sign up and kind of learn more about this and get some support, we'll be having weekly calls on Roku Academy to, kind of clinics where people can come and share their problems, and we'll kind of help them through all of this. So sign up for just at the link in the chat for Roku Academy's launch. And if you have any questions, you can just drop us an email at hello@rokuagency.com. But for the moment, everyone have a great weekend, and looking forward to the next one where we'll dive into this in a bit more detail.
Thanks, Paul, very much. That was great.
Thanks very much.
No worries.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Take care.
Take care. Have a great weekend. Thank you.